Say what? Yo, who was that? A.T.L show coming live. Speak about the world. Know that we are still. We got TeAma, Legacy, the podcast. On God, we're taking over for the A.T.L show.
Naya, what?
The A.T.L show's on, duh. Get out! Get
But
out!
Naya, it's supposed to be for adults only. It's supposed to be.
A.T.L. They're back!
It's my time again.
Anthony, TeAma, T7, Legacy! They're back! They're the best! Let's get it! Season 2!
I'm the best in this shit, that's fact. And there's only one reason that I came back. I'm here to set the fucking record straight. Okay, I'm the best you ever cast, just spell the way. First off, ain't no beef with the spitters in my city. But if it comes with 28, then shit get gritty. I'm shitty. Yeah, I shit on rappers. Either dead on the scene since you wanna be actors. It's the message. I'm talking over hills and places. It's cool, little feeling foggy. I'll be patient and waiting. It seems y'all forgot who really runs the throne. Screaming y'all number one, just because I was gone. See, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on against team. Once me, you ready to lose. The game, the street, the zone is true. This the method. Who believe you for me rappers? Sure. Yeah.
Hello.
So y'all know. Yeah. The monster is back. And I'm at my spot.
A.T.L.
Just-in-time accessories definitely have the bling and everything in between. TeAma Copeland is your independent paparazzi agent. Join her live online Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join her on Facebook at TeAma Sweetness Copeland or her fan page, Just-in-Time Accessories, or you can find her on YouTube at Teama Herice. That once again is Just-in-Time Accessories. Everything is only $5. Nickel and lead-free jewelry. TeAma Copeland, independent paparazzi agent. Just-in-time accessories definitely have the bling and everything in between. Check her out.
Make sure you go over to Goalie.com and get your Goalie gummies today. They have 3 selections, 3 choices to choose from. They have the apple cider vinegar, the ashwagandha, and new, they now have the superfruit. In addition to going over to GoalieGummies.com, make sure you use the A.T.L as your discount code and receive a huge discount. It supports the channel and the podcast. In addition to all of that, the gummies, they're a source of antioxidant. They have vitamins B9, B12, promotes general good health, helps improve your daily health, contains pectin, a source of dietary fiber, uses pectin as a natural prebiotic to support the healthy gut and immune system, includes the mother, a healthy strain of bacteria, antioxidants, and enzymes. Mask the unpleasant taste of the apple cider vinegar. It's simple, it's delicious, it's Goalie.
Hey family, Will Horn here. I am so excited that in less than 30 days, we'll be celebrating the official launch of Will Horn Ministries right here in Dallas, Texas. October 15th and 16th, people from all over the country are going to gather here for an amazing time of worship and fellowship. And I would love it if you would be here to join us. We're in the midst of another great spiritual awakening, and people are starting to discover that there's so much more to God and so much more to life than what we've been taught in the traditional church. And I would love it again if you would be here to join us on this journey to enlightenment and fulfillment and living the life that we've really been assigned to live while we're here in the earth. So listen, it doesn't cost you any registration fee or anything like that to join us, but our space is limited, so we do need you to let us know that you're coming. So if you would, go to Eventbrite, search Will Horn Ministries launch and reserve your seat. If you're coming from out of town, I want you to know that we've got a beautiful host hotel. It's in a great location. They've given us a great rate, so you can reserve your seat and reserve your hotel space just to make sure that you're able to join us. Listen, if you need to get more information, you can certainly do that by going to willhornministries.com, or you can join our Facebook group. That way you'll know what's going on with the ministry. But beyond all of those things, I want you guys to know how much I love you, how excited I am about this opportunity for us to come together and really live the life that God has intended for us. All right? I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Take it easy.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome once again. So glad to be in the numbers just one more time. Just want to say welcome everybody to the Anthony Brown Show. This segment that we call the A.T.L. I'm yours truly, Mr. Anthony Brown, and I'm joined tonight by my great special guests and my co-host. I have the very beautiful, the very lovely Miss TeAma Sweetness.
Hey everybody.
The bold, the beautiful. Mama say knock you out, Miss T Savage.
Good evening, America.
Yes, the fashionista. Always matching from head to toe, no matter what time of day it is. The shawty doo-wop himself, the one that will the death, Mr. Legacy the Great. You're on mute, Legacy.
You know what I said? I said A.T.L, ho.
And another that's no stranger to us. She visits quite frequently. Yes, our sister, the very lovely, and she's working and rocking this hair tonight, Miss Auntie
Yes,
Adrian.
God. Hey.
She give me life with that hair. She give me life with that hair.
Yes, God.
Can y'all hear me?
Very well.
Okay, because I got some shit going on over here.
Okay. I just want to remind everybody, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and comment below. And if you comment below, we will put your comments on the screen and answer accordingly. So like, subscribe, and comment. And please subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe. We have 67% of our viewers that are not subscribers. So you're watching, but you're not subscribing. So what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? You're scared? Don't be scared. It costs nothing to hit the subscribe button. So hit the subscribe button. We're on our road to 5,000. Once we hit 5,000, we have a special treat for you. I'm gonna just save that for now. Not gonna go too much in details, but you'll be impressed. How everybody doing tonight? You can unmute yourself.
I'm doing good.
Favored.
Blessed and highly favored. They say highly flavored.
Listen, yeah, I've been trying not to go back to who I used to be 5 years ago. But if one of these bitches come at me again today, I'm gonna give them some red.
You gonna give it to her?
That's what I'm talking about. People getting on my nerves. Yes, of the Almighty.
Hey, Miss Tina Mo.
Hey, Miss Mo.
Mo is in the house. Mo is
maybe I'm slow, but what's red? What's red?
Tell your ass up out the frame.
Out of it completely.
Miss Tina Mo was in the house at 8:30. Yes, God. We appreciate you, Miss Tina Mo. We love and appreciate you so much.
For sure.
As you guys know, according to what it says on the screen, tonight is just chatting with friends. And on Chatting with Friends, usually the last show of every month, where we just talk about random topics. Usually what's trending, what's hot in the news. And we got quite a few issues to bring up. The only one I don't have a video clip or anything to show, and forgive me for not having the names, but this thing that's going on right now with well, before I even do that, TeAma, did you have a question of the day? If not,
nope. Remember, I'm behind because we had a lot going on today. So I'm still doing homework.
Okay, great, perfect. I didn't want to get into the issue, this one particular issue before we did the question of that. I didn't want to overstep my boundaries. But
I got a question.
Okay, go right ahead.
Question of the day is, and I'm not gonna make it one-sided, so I'm just gonna say, why do parents in the middle of separation, why do they put their personal feelings of what they're feeling about the significant other into their children?
And my response to that is, I feel that sometimes the parent who's putting out the negativity or whatever, or including the children in the situation, they could be either one, hurt, scorned, bitter, still in love, don't want to let you go, any number of reasons.
Why do they put their personal feelings or what they're feeling about the significant other?
You got to echo legacy.
TeAma?
What happened?
You didn't hear the question of the day?
I heard it, but that's just straight ignorant. So if you impregnate an ignorant chick, guess what? You're gonna get ignorant ass results.
Well, you don't always.
Well, yeah, because they weren't ignorant when you got with them.
You don't always.
But let me tell you, let me tell you, that ignorance is always there. You see them signs of what you gonna deal with regardless. Y'all get in an argument, if they take the pair of shoes that they brought you, oh, give me bite this, you already know you gonna get stupid.
What if you never experienced that? What if they never reveal their hand like that?
When the words of Tyson, you hear him in the background, you already knew it was coming.
Savage, what's your opinion on that is?
Well, they do it for obvious reasons, they're trying to poison the child and turn the child into a parent, but normally it ends up backfiring. But I've seen situations where the court is involved and they make them use like a parent app, so the only way they can communicate according to a ruling or a judgment is through this parent app. And I think that's a really good idea so people can monitor what the parents are saying. That's the only time they can speak is through the parent app.
Ms. Adrian?
I don't even know what the question was, Legacy.
The question of the day is, why do parents, once they separate, why do they pretty much pour in the venom that they have or that they're feeling?
Oh, well, you'd have to ask my ex-husband because he's scorned. I don't know. I really think that a lot of times it's because they still in love with the person and they pissed off because the person left them or whatever. And so then they start trying to feed the children with a bunch of negativity. Me personally, with all the shit that my ex-husband did to me, I never once am.
Excuse me, Ms. Adrian. Tony.
Uh-huh.
Put your avatar up there stuffing your face. Now finish, Ms. Adrian.
And never once have I ever said anything negative about my children's father to them, because at the end of the day, he's still their father. But I feel like he said a whole bunch of things about me because he still got feelings for me. That's what I feel. Because listen,
let me ask you a question, Ms. Adrian. If let's say you didn't walk away from him, but he chose to walk away from you, how do you harvest venom for someone you chose to leave?
Say what?
Meaning, if you never separated from your husband or your ex-husband,
he would have never left me. He would have never left.
But if we're just speaking it as it being a separate,
like if he had.
If you are the person that walked away from the relationship, how do you harvest venom to pour into your children about you leaving? Oh, excuse me, about him leaving you.
About him leaving me. Again, goes back to what I was saying. I obviously must be still having feelings for him for me to harvest venom into my kids.
I'm gonna try it again, Ms. Adrian.
I don't know. Maybe I don't understand what you're saying. Talk to me like I'm poor.
If your husband left you, to go do something else, and he had the kids with him. By him making the decision to leave you and take the kids, how is it that that person should be able to harvest any type of bitterness towards you when they the one that left you?
They shouldn't really, but because maybe they wanted to elicit a response from me. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, Legacy. I really know. I don't know how to answer that.
In the
Maybe
midst
I'm
of
not
them
saying.
leaving, in the midst of them leaving, they didn't get the results that they were looking for.
Yes.
Maybe they left for a better reason, for a job, a career,
Or
school.
maybe they were trying to shake something up within me.
You know, and so now that they moved on, you know, let's say they're in California now and you're still in Florida, but they were anticipating that, you know, the mate that was left behind was going to follow them. And because the mate didn't, now they're bitter.
Yeah, bitterness is big.
What if their excuse was for you leaving? Well, for them leaving was they were supposed to be getting away from you to do bigger and better things. But in the long run, they're telling your kids a different story about the scenario. Now your children are feeling some type of way about you, saying, my mom didn't love me. My mom didn't care.
The question of the day is a part two now, because you already asked one question, now you're asking the second question.
Yeah, and because I've been in that situation, it just doesn't happen like how you're posing it.
Which, I mean, it happens different ways, but it's still the same scenario.
I can't speak on no other ways, babe. I just can't. I can't speak on no other ways. The whole problem is that and I may be wrong. I don't know because I don't know how you want me to answer it. But in that situation, the ex-husband was angry with me. And because he was angry with me, he's going to try to make the kids be on his side to be against me. I don't know how else to answer it.
The best way you could. Miss Juicy K.
Hey,
Hey, Juicy.
I'm trying to get to where. Can you hear me? Oh, it wouldn't unmute. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Miss Juicy K.
Look, I'm here, but I'm cooking.
Did you get the question of the day, Miss Juicy Cakes?
Hold on. Did I get what?
The question of the day.
No, I didn't. I'm just getting on to everything.
Okay. Everybody's answered it thus far, so it's up to you now.
So tell it to me.
Okay. The question of the day is, why is it when parents or significant others separate and they have children, why is it that the parent, that's one of the parents or both of the parents pour venom into the children about the other parent?
Okay, you said when they separate, why do one or both of the parents do what with the children?
Pour negativity into the children about the other parent.
Ooh. Why do they? Because they bitter. They hurt. And you know what? I did it when I've done it before. And my reason was I wanted my children to be able to identify the bullshit when they see it. And especially even from their parent. So I was like, I'm not going to let you sit here and sugarcoat stuff to my children when I see how you are with me. You're that way with them too. So I used to not push the negativity, but I would just expose it, the truth. But I was better.
But
I don't even say.
But at what age, Ms. Juicy? But at what age do you feel that it's right to start doing that? Because even though you may be trying to expose the other person for whatever they may be, whatever they seem to you, the child may see or experience a different thing with that person that You know how they say, I've actually heard Miss Adrian say that, I think she said that her children's father was not a good man or husband, but he was a hell of a dad.
Okay.
So,
Oh, you ain't heard me say that.
So for me,
I don't know what the fuck you heard, Legacy, but that.
that's
my
legit, huh?
bad, my bad, my bad.
Hold up now. Don't do it like that. You know, at
So,
what age? My son, my youngest is 6, right? And I try my hardest not to be that way with him, I have 5 children. So the youngest is 6. So it's like I've gone through it 4, 5 times, and this is the 5th time. And him 6 years old, his heart and his feelings are very gentle. And I look at him and I try not to do that because he look at his father as a superhero. He look at me as a superhero. So I'd be like, okay, I want your mind and see the better in things. But I mean, sometimes you got to keep it real. And especially like when they start getting of age to acting out and trying to act like whatever that negativity that the other is imposing to them out on you, then I feel you got to call it out. You know, I just do. You just got to call it out both ways. And it to me, it's at the age of understanding. If they can understand what they given, then they can understand what they're going to receive.
and on that,
Chatting with friends.
I give them a hug. Let them know I love them.
Oh, did we lose oh, Adrian's there. Okay, I was gonna make sure we didn't lose Miss Auntie Adrian.
But I tell you this, Legacy. No matter what somebody tells to your child, at the end of the day, them kids got their own mind. You don't have to talk bad about a parent, and the kid will let you know, oh, that nigga ain't never do nothing for me. Oh, my mama will always stop my daddy from da-da-da. Kids see and hear. They're very smart.
Okay, but TeAma, my defense to that is sometimes the one parent is doing, but the other parent is not informing the child. For example, let's say you and your husband separated right now, and he's sending you $1,000 every month for 5 years, which means he's doing, but you're not telling the child. So as far as the child know, daddy ain't doing nothing for me. Daddy don't love me. Daddy's not there. But daddy is sending $1,000 every month for 5 years.
But Tony, if daddy will always have a paper trail. So guess what? When daddy show all that evidence, oh, boo-boo giddy, mommy got something to answer for.
But TeAma, listen. By the time, let's say this been going on, like Tony say, he was the child that's going on for 5 years. Let's say that now this 5 years is gone, that makes that child 15. The separation between those 5 years of that child feeling like that father or that mother has not been doing anything for them can cause a disparity between the relationship or that of that parent. And it seems like the only parent that cared about them is the one that was in the house. So at that time, now, yes, the paperwork, the paper trail does. Savage ain't on here. Read it, Tony.
This is Andy, but I can tell that you've been pre-screened in regards to this question without the awareness of the rest of the show. But I feel that Anthony gave an honest manuscript answer.
So I'm gonna say, you know, like my son, he's 15, and this very year his father tried to throw that of what he does monthly as far as child support, and he tried to say he gives a certain amount, like we're gonna say $1,000 to that one son, and I have 3 children by him. So he didn't, you know, they'll try to put it what they do, but they're not doing the most. Because if you're only doing the bare minimum to me, the court appoints for you to do, and then that child still has other needs that you're missing out on, like basketball games, football practice, throwing catch in the street, those essential needs, you know, it's not just money.
Miss Juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to speak on this one.
And I gotta speak after you. Go ahead.
When we have to understand that when we separate from someone, there are gonna be some things that are not met. I'm not always able to make an event that my daughter or my kids participate in. I'm not always because one, I could not have known about the event and I had enough time to prepare to come and things of that nature. And the thing that I hear people say all the time is, oh well, he's doing the bare minimum by sending what he can. I don't know everybody's situation, and neither do we. But if the gentleman is doing his part of sending something of what he can, maybe you know he can do way more. Maybe you know his finances to where he's able to do more. But at the same time, you have some parents that don't do a damn thing. And you have to be able to say, okay, well, you know, he is doing this, but are you telling the children that your dad is sending you some money?
Well, for me on my end, I tell my kids, here go your allotment with your daddy saying, make it work. If y'all feel like he's sending everything that's supposed to be, because in my life, I top his. And I say excuses only please those who give them, because a parent has to sacrifice for their child. You can't go with the excuse of I can't always be there, because the child doesn't see whether you can always be there or not. That child looks for you to be there. And so you can't keep passing on, I can't, when all it takes for you to do is set some of your interests and what you want to do for your personal self aside, like most parental parents do, the one who has the child. They have to make those sacrifices, and they do it. That
if you, Ms. Juicy, if you and this gentleman or anybody on the panel, if you don't live on if they're in the same city, same town, same state, that you can't ask for that.
Oh yeah, if you don't live in the same city. For my ex-husband, I did him a solid. Once we got divorced, I moved far away so that he didn't have to have a reason of anything other than the truth. I'm not there and I'm not able. I surely did that for him, because when we were in the city, I bear witness that he wasn't there and doing. So I didn't want my children to be having their feelings hurt, thinking, why won't daddy do? So the pure explanation is we're not in the same city. I'm so to cover everything, I'm that person who even sent my children and took them to spend time. I'm not against the parent, the father like that. But I have bear witness to what you're saying as far as this subject goes. And it looks like the parent who has the child tries to bash the father. But we got like I say to people, if you don't want what you're doing to be highlighted, why are you doing it? Do something different. Because we all can be a better person, a better parent, a better everything if we take time and focus on what's right there in priority. And a lot of absent parents do not put their children as their main priority. They'll put their girlfriend children as their main priority before their very own.
Preach.
Some have, but that's not always the case, because every situation is different. So we can't make an observation that that's the way it is. Ms. Adrian, go ahead.
Okay, so my children's father has always talked bad about me to my kids. So much so that now that my kids are grown, my kids have started to question him and ask him, why did you talk so bad about our mom? He went even as far as saying to my kids that he was sorry that he didn't pick them a better mother. Now, what kind of man says that to his children, that you sorry you didn't pick? My kids love me with everything in me. All you can tell you, my kids love their mom. But this man said to my kids, he's sorry he didn't pick a better mother. Now, when my kids were, because when I first came down here to Florida, my kids stayed in Maryland with him for 2 years. Every single solitary week, I sent this man money. Every single week. When my kids came down here to Florida with me for the first time permanently, my oldest son challenged me and said, Dad was doing this, that, and the other for us. You never sent us anything. Now, not that I owed that nigga any motherfucking thing, but I did. I went to Publix and I pulled the papers and I showed him all the motherfucking what you call them things? Western Unions I
Receipts.
sent to his dad.
Mm-hmm.
I went on Walmart.com and I pulled up all the receipts of all the money I was sending. And then he looked at me sideways like, Dad didn't tell us that. Listen, it ain't my business to tell you what your dad told you, but I'm only telling you this because you're here with me and now you're challenging me about why Dad did so much for y'all and I did nothing. And I need you to know to not ever come at me again because I've always taken care of my kids. Up until, and this is no lie, up until my ex-husband came here about what was it, 3 weeks ago? He had my kids thinking that I was doing this, I was doing that, I was doing the other. And he finally apologized for the fact that he talked so bad about me to the kids. Never. As much as I thought negative about him, I never, ever, ever. And you can ask my kids independently that without me around, they'll tell you I never talk bad about their dad to them because I feel like no matter what me and him are going through, at the end of the day, even children, and this is a known statistic, children whose parents are not around, they still love those deadbeat parents. They still
Yeah.
love them. They have a lot of regard for them. So I never said anything bad about my children. But what I did know is that one day they would get older and they would see just who he was. He used to tell me that my kids would grow up and hate me, that my kids would never want anything to do with me, and that they would hate the ground that I walked on. And guess what? Now, guess what they doing? The very shit he said about me is what they thinking about him.
Miss
And it
Adrian.
wasn't because of anything I had to say to my kids, because I never said anything bad about them. I cussed that motherfucker out a whole lot in my head, but I
Miss
never said
Adrian.
it to my kids. Yes.
But they can see
Do
it for
you
themselves
think?
now at this point.
Do you
Huh?
think? Do
I said
you
they can see
think?
it for themselves now at this point.
Right.
They
Do
can.
you think that Miss Adrian, had
Uh-huh.
your ex-husband took the time, knowing that you were sending money, had he took the time to acknowledge to your children that even though mommy is away, mommy is still taking the time to make sure that y'all are straight. Mommy sent you $400 to go toward the house to do this. Mommy sent $700 to do this because y'all wanted to participate in that. That right there being told to a child of the financial state, because children look and see the struggle too and see that
Yeah.
one parent is struggling way more than the other one because this and
Mm-hmm.
that. And
My
if
kids
he
see
would
all
have
that.
done that, you never would have had to justify yourself because your child would have known that my mama didn't just leave me to go have fun.
Absolutely, 100%. But let me tell you what my children did say. Because when my children came back here, because see, when me and my ex-husband were together, and anybody that knows me know my kids don't want for nothing. I never tell my children no. I never tell them no. And that's to my fault because sometimes it makes them the rotten cusses that they are at times. Yeah, I listen to Jasmine laughing. But what I'm saying to you is this: I never tell my kids no. I've always been that unorthodox parent. I say unorthodox, but I guess it's just different. My kids didn't have bedtimes. They didn't have curfews. They pretty much did what they wanted to do, but they still had that certain level of respect. But what I can say to you is this: is that my kids would have never questioned me. But what? No, what I was getting ready to say, I lost my train of thought. When my kids came down here, they were like, when they came back, they was like, yeah, mom, after being up there with dad, now we know who was the one that did all those elaborate Christmases. Now we know who went all the way out the way for birthdays. Now because their dad didn't do any of that. Their dad didn't do any of that kind of stuff. He just didn't because check it out. My husband was the type of man that never knew what it was like to have a birthday party in his life. And the whole 21 years we was together, up until the last couple years that we weren't together, he said to me he never had a birthday party in his life. And I told him, as long as me and you together, I'm going to make sure you have a birthday party. So people knew us and everybody was looking for them epic birthday parties because I made sure he had it. Then one year he told me how his family had ran him around so much that Thanksgiving time, they didn't even save him no food. Thanksgiving after he finished picking this one up, picking that one up. And I promised him, as long as you with me, my turkey will never get cut until as long as you not as until you're sitting at that table. And I made that kind of shit happen. So I always went above and beyond because that's the kind of woman I am. I go above and beyond for my man. And some men don't deserve the type of woman I am, but I'm just saying that's just the type of woman that I am. I take care of mine. But my ex-husband, he got pissed off after I left him. He was pissed off because even though he tried to tell me I would never be shit without him, but the truth of the matter is he was never going to be shit without me. Because when I tell you, if I told my husband that I needed an extra $1,000 this month, he bought me an extra 2,000. If I told him I needed this done, he did 10 times more what I needed done. But I take that same man and put him with the no count woman he got now, and I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is because this ain't the man that I married. This ain't the go-getter that I married. This and my husband was a warm body and a paycheck. He wasn't into like he wasn't in tune to like handling shit, but he was a damn good provider. But you put that same now he ain't worth a pinch of puppy shit. I'm just saying.
Tina Mo
kind of
said,
shit?
Tina Mo said, just saying, this is pure entertainment, along with lots of facts. I'm crazy about the A.T.L family. Here you can find the most head bumping.
Thank you,
Oh my
Tina Mo.
We love you, Tina.
I love it. Before we move on, just want to say everybody had great views on this. I've learned from this, and I hope our audience and fan base.
What have you learned? What have you learned, Legacy? What
I've
have you
learned a
learned
lot.
from this?
A lot.
I want to know what have you exactly learned.
We'll talk about it behind the show, Miss Adrian.
Okay.
We've already
Legacy,
gone
you
over
Miss
Tony,
Adrian, he
listen.
learned just as much as R. Kelly did.
Listen here, let me tell y'all something about Tony.
the
Because
question
Tony
is,
then got so commercialized, he be cutting people off in the middle of their sentences and pushing.
Dear ATL is a segment of the show where you, the viewer, can write in and tell us about what's going on in your life. And we will read your letter and respond to your letter live here on the air. So if you're experiencing relationship problems, best friend disputes, baby mama, baby daddy drama, marriage issues, church hurt, church issues, and many, many more, send your letters to TheAnthonyBrownShow at gmail.com. Yes, welcome back to Dear ATL, Dear ATL. So we're going to move right along.
Oh my God.
Should have been only 15 minutes and it's already 38 minutes. Legacy.
So what? The people want to see us.
Excuse me, guest. So we're going to go right into the letter. So that should have been a topic and not a question, Legacy. It went
My bad, sir. My bad. Forgive me.
Because we have so much to cover. So
could you forgive me?
I'll think about it. So Savage or Adrian, whichever one of
I
you
don't
have
have
the
it. Nobody sent it to me, so I don't have it.
Go ahead and read the letter.
I emailed to you and I sent it to Jazz Messenger too, like she asked.
Jazz, where's your phone at?
Tina Mo said, gosh, I didn't think y'all would consider that a comment.
Hold on, I'm going to read it.
We appreciate all of them, Miss Tina Mo. We appreciate you being a part of the show. We appreciate your comments and everything.
Yes, keep them coming. Paula, and hey, Miss Paula, she said, okay, KK.
Hey, Miss Paula.
Hey, Miss Paula.
Miss Paula new theme song is Shantae Got a Man at Home.
Okay.
Yes, boo.
That's my song. Yeah.
That's Miss Paula, honey. Shantae's Got a Man at Home. Show feel good to me.
To me.
I'm sorry, man. You're married home.
Yeah, sing it.
Nah, that ain't my ministry.
Nobody come to see you
Hey, Miss Paula.
We need some pies, Miss Paula. Where's the letter?
Them pies and he hooked like Pookie.
Tell him, TeAma.
Why you making that face?
Just wait for the letter.
Give me a second, Anthony. You don't have
Wait
to
for y'all to
shine a
come on
spotlight
in the
on it. Give me a
room.
second.
You don't have to do all of that, Anthony.
You know, Anthony extra.
He's
Yeah, he
always that.
extra and he's shining spotlights on it, and people ain't even paying attention.
You
All
don't
right,
know what
so
you're
here we
talking
are.
about.
I'm a young
Always
man
doing
in my
something.
hush legacy, because
My,
Anthony done got on my nerve. Come on
he
here.
about to get on mine.
All right, y'all. Listen. Here we go with this letter. I'm a young man in my 30s, married with kids of my own. My father was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. He has children all over creation. Some I know of, and others I do not have a clue. Well, there is this one sister on my dad's side of the family, and we are the same age. She has children at this stage in her life. Well, when I first found out about her, we were in high school. I reached out to try and meet her and bridge the gap and make some sort of bond. She has not she was not receptive. A few years passed. I made another attempt and she was standoffish, claiming her Caucasian boyfriend was keeping her away from all of her family. Fast forward, she is no longer with her slave master. Recently, our father passed away, and she approached me at the funeral to try and make amends to me to be a family. I shunned her and basically gave her my ass to kiss. I told her love. Told her I love her and not ready to be all kumbaya like a family. Some say I'm hurting. Some say I am bitter. Some say I am sad. I'm stubborn. A.T.L, do you think I will ever be able to forgive her and be a family for the sake of our children? Or should I just leave it alone since there has never been a relationship and move on with her in my life? Signed, just like my daddy.
Hmm. Hmm. I wow. I
That's a
think
bit
that
much there.
I think he'll be able to forgive her, but he has to make a conscious decision to let it go. Cause people be having shit going on in their life that you don't know about. Maybe she
Hmm.
had a lot of shit going on, like she said. Kamal said petty, and maybe she just wasn't ready, and maybe it took her some time to process it, and now she's got through her shit, and now she ready. She processed it, now she ready to mend this relationship. He didn't have to be an ass about it, but I can understand. That was kind of petty, shunning her at the funeral. I mean, he dead now, but I think it's a possibility for a future relationship. But he has to
People
be
don't
willing
know how
to
to
let
let
it
shit
go.
go.
He gotta let it go. It's a lot of shit you just gotta let go because it ain't even worth harboring. At the end of the day, it don't even
Yep.
hurt them. It really hurts you because you're the one harboring the stuff around, and then everybody just living their life. You the one sucking your teeth mad.
Right.
Not only that, just even going a little further than that, the person that's being is affecting the most is his kids and her kids.
Right.
They're cousins and don't even know each other.
Right.
So he has 3 or 4 kids and she has several kids, and so the first time they saw each other probably was at the funeral, and
I believe. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
they're in their 30s, and that's kind of sad. So yeah, and
Because the kid shouldn't have to suffer because of them.
right.
Kamal said he's not capable of having a relationship holding something so small. I believe Juicy said earlier tonight, as a parent, you have to sacrifice. And if you got to sacrifice your personal feelings for your sister, this animosity that you have is not even warranted. You don't even have a really good reason. In order for y'all children to have a relationship, and that's what you need to do, because at the end of the day, when you go and she gone, all they're going to have is each other.
It's each other, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, they don't know each other, so when he's gone, they're not even gonna have that.
Right.
And you don't want your kids to accidentally smash when they become adults, not knowing their cousins. Eddie Pearl said, the way this world is today, people need to love more and hate less.
Amen.
Yeah. He said, kumbaya. He ain't ready for the kumbaya. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. And every day you gotta live your life like it's your last day because you never know.
Absolutely.
And if
Because you
something
be here
happened to
today
her,
and gone today.
yeah, something happened to his sister, he gonna feel mighty upset, and he gotta live
You
with the fact
can.
that he didn't mend the fences, and now she gone. There's nothing he can do about it.
I want to elaborate on that because I'm definitely a man who father was a Rolling Stone. My daddy got almost 40 kids,
Oh my
and
God. His dick should be tied.
we've already had a show where shit, what
Right.
was David?
I said his dick should be tied. Damn. Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Two
Yes,
times.
Negro. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. So,
Well,
Legacy, I didn't mean no disrespect towards
I
your
don't know
daddy. I'm sorry.
that. I don't
But
know
I don't give a
goddamn.
damn.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know the dude, so that didn't bother me. My granddad had 36 children, so I mean, I understand. But speaking on that, my dad was the same way. And out of all the kids, I only know about maybe 6 of his children outside of me and my brother. And so I do understand that. And
Why,
those that I
why you
have
can't
met,
do it little so you make room to do
those
more?
that I have met, they
You don't got no
were
more paper?
open. TeAma muted.
Bring me some of your paper.
They was receptive to becoming a family together. But then the
Well,
other ones that
Legacy,
I
did
met,
any of y'all have the same mother?
no. Well,
Any of the ones y'all met?
Me and my brother do, but my outside siblings, no, we don't. So I do understand the situation. But being honest, from just the letter, I think there's 2 things that's going on. One, when he was receptive to getting to know his sister,
His
she
sister
was not
wasn't.
receptive.
Right.
So we can't sit here and tell him that he's wrong because he's not to a point where he's ready to accept her when she's ready. When he was the first person to be receptive to trying to get to know her. Right. And we can't tell somebody when they are ready to do something because mentally, like we say, everybody is going through something. So we want to sit on here and tell him he's wrong because he was not openly ready to accept when she was ready. But we did not come to the point to say that when he was ready, she was not ready. Right. So whenever they decide that they will come as one and that will be a position to where that they both are ready to accept each other, the person that they're mad with is dead and gone. But it's neither their fault that they wasn't raised or brought upon each other to know and love each other as a family. But like Tony said, the only people right now that could be affected by it is the nieces and nephews that's between it. Outside of that, if my daddy was to die today, I don't know him. I'm not going to no funeral and don't even want to be told that he died. I can't harbor feelings for someone. I can't regret feeling some type of way because if his sister died, if you don't have no love already built up, you're not going to feel no type of way unless you make yourself feel some type of way. So whenever that person decides to get ready to open up, he or she needs to pray to whoever God or however they do it and ask God to remove whatever is blocking that. But that has to be a mutual thing on both parts to where both of them are ready at the same time to be receptive to brother and sistership and love. If you don't do that, then they're going to miss the opportunity. But it's nobody's fault but the dad.
Okay. Any other comments on that topic, on the letter?
I kind of had got kicked out because of the signal, but I came in. So want to make sure I understand the letter. He wanted the relationship with his sister, and then she didn't. The father has passed, and now the sister wants the relationship, and he doesn't.
Right.
And they're questioning about how it affect the kids.
His question was, do we think he'll ever be able to forgive his sister? Or
for
should he
not
just
wanting
let it
to
go?
but forgive her for not wanting to get to know him in the beginning?
Right.
Is that what? Oh.
Or should he just move
I
on if
think
she
he
wasting his
should.
time?
If she's not trying to get to know him, then he should move on. But if she is, and that was what he wanted to from the beginning, then I think he should be thankful that the time has come. Because we never know the minute nor the hour. But if it's not something he's interested in anymore, then that's what he needs to express to her, that he ain't interested in being a sibling like that. We just don't need to know each other. But that one point someone had made about they'll end up not knowing each other and could meet up, the nieces and nephews and cousins and get together later. That's very real. And that's where I think they should set their differences aside and get to know each other. It's not to be friends, but just to know your family.
I agree.
There's a lot of people around here smashing cousins and don't even know it. Smashing brothers, long
Right.
lost, and just don't know it because nobody ever made the people clear. And hey, this is your cousin, this is people, this is your family. I got family I don't even know. My cousin died last week and everybody knew her. I had no idea who she was.
Okay.
See?
Here's an announcement that I just want to share with those of you out there that's using pay apps in your small businesses.
Starting in January 2022, if you receive money through Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, any of those types of apps, if you get more than $600 throughout the year, you will receive a 1099-K, meaning you will be taxed on that money. So if you are a small business owner or a gig worker and you receive money through these apps, you want to start getting your paperwork straight now because you will be taxed on that.
So if you have a small business or you do gigs or you do any type of service and you receive money through any of those pay apps, if you make more than $600 starting in January 2022, you will receive a W-2 and you will be taxed. So just let that be known. Here's something that's quite interesting and it's funny also, but Savage is gonna be able to relate to this.
This is what y'all need.
We're so excited to have Country Wayne with us.
Hey, how y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing, everybody?
God is still answering prayers.
Yes, he is.
We are so appreciative of everything that you're doing.
Thank you, brother.
You could have went anywhere else.
Yeah.
But you came to this little old church.
Yeah. You gotta be humble. It ain't about the size of the spirit.
You came to a church where the roof is leaking.
Ain't nothing
You
here.
came to a church where the floor is squeaking.
Oh, look for the
You
steady.
came to a church where the mics go out.
Yeah.
And you
I
could have
hear.
went anywhere else.
Yeah, I could. My auntie, I told
You
her I
know
would
the
come
Bible
down.
says, and my God shall supply
Oh, yeah?
all of my needs.
What page is on? Because I got a Bible right
Did he
here.
say that?
But what page
He
that's
said the
on?
blessing of the Lord making one rich.
Yeah, they do. But what page is it
and
about?
no sorrow.
Yeah, what page is
And
that?
he may not come when you want him to come.
On time.
But he's always on time. You know, I feel a giving spirit.
Oh, that's gas. That's gas. I ain't no giving.
I feel a giving spirit, and he brought him to us. He brought him to us, y'all. He walked through those doors.
Yeah, I ain't the only one came. Hey, I ain't the only one. Hey, I ain't the only one came to here. I mean, brother.
Get the basket.
What if
The Bible says
you don't get that
it
Popeye
is better
chicken
to
basket,
give
24 pieces?
than to receive. The Bible says give and it should be given unto you.
Get one of your outlets. Yeah.
Now we can get the church band running.
Yeah.
Now we get the baptism pool running. But with three. With three. 3 days later, he got up.
Hallelujah.
All power. But the Lord said, there's more.
Hey, where he said that? Hey.
There is more.
Hey.
We've been made to endure for a night, but joy and more.
Hey, Pastor, Pastor, I appreciate. Yeah.
He's here.
He choosing me. He using me.
God
No.
shows you
I don't think God using me. I think somebody else using me. Pastor, listen here, man. I'm gonna tell you, I could have when it got to them big churches and got ripped off. It's big churches all around Atlanta. I came. Yeah, my auntie told you were coming, but listen, I don't know what else she said was coming with it. I come here to get these children this day to put the Lord and to get the church feeling of what I had when I was young. And me, you coming here with this 24-piece Popeye's chicken biscuit. I got it, yeah, and I'm gonna keep it. Pastor, don't do this. Ro, what's up? You got some money for him?
I left mine in the car.
You left yours in the car, but why is you tapping me?
Because I need for you to calm down.
Yeah, you need me to calm down. This pastor just came straight to me. He
Your aunt told me that you grew up in this church.
Boy.
And in order for roots to stay strong, you gotta sow in
all these hands. Hey, well, listen. If all these hands that were clapping here put them together and sow, it could sew together.
But it can't compare to what the Lord.
Well, I got child support and everything. Pastor, don't do that. Don't do that. Man, please. On everything. Pastor, my spirit is telling me to take my money back. I'm going to take it back one by one. You don't do that here. Well, please go up there and finish the serving, okay? Please go preach about something else. Go preach about God. Brother,
tell somebody there's more.
Brother, please. Well, if you don't, and Satan just sees people like you in the church.
That the Lord wants you to give some more.
Hey man, listen, I talk to God when I get home, brother. Please don't do this.
Let's clap for the Lord.
Go clap. Man, get the basket out of my face. Brother, please, can you go speak your sermon?
My sermon today is let's give.
Let's give. Mine is let's go. Yeah, and I left. Come on, let's go and get out of here. We'll see y'all next Sunday. This Sunday, we'll see y'all next Sunday. No, that's all good. No, you don't make the whole sermon about me, bro. Come on. I know you don't want me to leave. Come on. This girl don't want her best outfit.
The Lord, for He is good. Yes, He is good. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good.
Why do pastors do that?
Wow. That had to be a skit, right?
It was a skit.
No, that happens in real life.
But it does happen
in real life. Let me tell you, Tony know my aunt since we were jits. My aunt was married to Deion Sanders. If we would go somewhere and Deion was with her, the whole dynamic of wherever we was would change. Church, all the rest of that. That collection plate, and they looking to wait to see what you gonna put in there. Yep, that's true.
I would have did the same thing that man did, but I would have got my money before I left out of there, because that ain't the church I need to donate my money to.
Agreed. TeAma said, when I went to my family reunion, I saw two of my exes. Oh, well.
Didn't even know they was related.
You don't.
Hey, what's that comment TeAma said about legacy? Talking about don't have sex with none of your relatives. Legacy, you have hundreds of sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, nephews related to you through your father and grandfather. Please don't have sex with a relative. Attend family gatherings.
Well, I can tell y'all a quick story about that.
Oh, Lord, he done smashed cousin.
Listen, no, let me tell you what happened. I went out to the club one night, and I seen this dark chocolate thing, and she was beautiful. So I went at her, and we were vibing and everything, but she had a slender chick that that right there caught my eye too, and I ain't know why because I was really feeling the dark skinned chick. So
Right,
as
you
the
like
night
big
went
women or
on,
skinny women?
I like women, Miss Adrian.
Okay.
I ain't gonna start no argument with you on this
I'm just
podcast.
asking. I'm just asking so
You
I
weren't
can
just
understand the
asking. You
story.
I
already.
know that's
You know.
right,
I've been
Legacy.
told
Pedal
you.
up out of that. Pedal up out of that, Legacy. Pedal, baby, pedal.
Quickly.
He about to sink already. It's like sinking shit.
So as the night went on, I noticed that the other chick was on me too. So I started hanging with the other chick more. So my partner ended up getting a dark skinned chick. So late on that night, we went home. So when we got to the house after we went out to eat or whatever, we went on to the house. My partner ended up with the dark skinned chick. I ended up with the slim chick. So that morning we got up. They stayed in like the next town over, which was about 15 minutes away from me. So when we get to the house, we go in, their mama is up. So I come in the house and we introducing ourselves. So the mama just looking at me. I'm like, everything okay, ma'am? She was like, baby, you just look so familiar.
Who your people?
I say, so familiar? She was like, yeah. She was like, you from Valdosta? I say, yes, ma'am. She say, what's your mama name? I say, Miss Josie. She said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? You okay? She said, tell me your mama name ain't Josie Williams. Tell me. I say, yes, ma'am. She said, your name Tony. I say, yes, ma'am. She say, tell me you ain't sleep with your cousins. I said, my cousin? She say, which one of these you talking to? I say, I'm talking to her, Ramona. She was like, oh my God, thank God, thank God. I was like, why? I'm thinking she gonna tell me one of these chick got AIDS or something. So she was like, no. She was like, no. The other one, the dark skinned one, that's your first cousin. Me and your mama's sisters. I say, what? She was like, yeah, your granddaddy named Maceo Williams. That's my daddy. That's your mama, daddy too. She was like, yeah, I got 9 more. I got 9 brothers and 2 more sisters. I was like, what? All for my granddaddy. So I'm left there. I'm devastated. I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to get home because I need to talk to my mama. So I walk in the house. I say, mama, how many kids do my granddaddy got? My mama like, well, your grandma had 22, but 6, she had 6 miscarriages, and then it was us 16. I was like, so I only got 6. But minus you, I got aunties and uncles that equal up to 15. She was like, yeah. I say, are you sure? She was like, well, your granddaddy was a hoe. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, your granddaddy
Runs
got
in the
like,
family.
Right.
your granddaddy had some outside kids from a lady that lived a mile down the road from where we lived at. I say, granddaddy was poking the lady that lived a mile down the road.
That's pimping right there.
She was like, it's a possibility that he got more because your granddaddy was a gospel singer too. And he used to go on the road a lot. So it's a possibility he got some more kids. I said, Lord, well, by the way, I almost slept with my cousin. My mama say, what? I say, yeah. I say, but the night God switched it over to where somebody else got it and I got the other girl. And she was like, you better not be talking to nobody from Brooks County. You are not allowed to talk to nobody. I say, but damn. Them women came over there from Brooks County, came over here the way I live at. So how the heck I supposed to know? Ask everybody where they from.
That's like Cordell. He's a Nance, and the Nances are real big in Delray.
You just gotta be careful. But I know one thing, that church that you just showed, I'd have had to get my money back out of there.
Yes.
Tell you.
Give me back my $300.
Hey, listen. Hey, y'all, that was the Redemptive Life Fellowship, just so y'all know.
Oops. And on that note, here's another one.
I'm telling you, man. Get your fucking parents. Get your fucking parents, man. I'll fuck him, man. Man, I will beat your motherfucking ass, boy. That's my motherfucking child, boy.
Oh my God.
I don't give a fuck about these motherfucking children, man. You want to smile, boy? I'm telling you, boy. Get your motherfucking people, man. You got a fucking problem now, boy.
Okay, please.
I think there was an angry father confronting his child's bully.
Oh, yeah.
I said, when I started, I thought about legacy.
All the way in. TeAma done stabbed the little one.
TeAma, because TeAma would have ran him over. He would have had no conversation.
Let me tell you. I don't know if y'all done seen Raising Keenan. I'm Raquel.
Katie.
You better go get yours. You better go get yours.
Listen, Raquel off the
home crying?
off the cane.
You come home crying? Oh no, we finna pull up. You either deal with them or you deal with me. Who you want?
Yeah, rock off the chain. Miss Paula said I have people in Valdosta. Yeah, rock off the chain, man. Kamal said that's not how you handle your child's bully.
I'm fighting a child. Let's say, but see, I go through levels. I'm gonna have a meeting with me, your mama, the principal, and if it further go on,
then I deal with it.
I'm gonna beat your mama behind. So right then and there, you gonna know that I'm the bully of your mama, and your mama gonna bully you to make sure you don't bully nothing else. Period. I'm psycho. They 13. Wow. I'm 13 too.
Well, all I'm gonna say, if any of y'all my friends on Facebook, y'all seen my post today, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. The next bitch that attack me or piss me off, I'm gonna give him some rest.
Well, Legacy used to be a coach of the Little League, and when I saw this,
especially about my kids.
When I saw this,
you coach Little League. You are Little League. You in the Little League. How you coach? Y'all use the same height as the kid.
I knew she was gonna go there.
I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Reese.
So when I saw this clip right here, once again, I thought about Legacy. It's called Coach Was Feeling Himself.
Coach was feeling himself during pregame.
He felt that flow too, didn't he? He felt that flow too.
Yeah, why that look like somebody you dated before?
That fat on the floor? But the coat t-shirt did look like an egg show did. Kamal said I didn't ever worry about my kids when they were younger because they were taught how to handle themselves.
I know that's right.
But since we're talking about
Kamal said teach your kids how to handle themselves.
We understand that, Kamal, but just the same, there's always, no matter how much you know how to handle yourself, there is somebody that know how to handle you too. So you can't be bullied. Anybody can be bullied. And in this day and time, bullying ain't always just words. People jump you. Sometimes if you by yourself and there's more than one, you have a ringleader. So I understand you saying you teach, but even teachers get their ass whooped sometimes. So let's not just say that that's how it goes. The way TeAma said it was to basically, well, that's how I'm gonna handle it. And we're gonna have a meeting, and I'm gonna tell your parents inside of the meeting, along with the police officer that's sitting there and the principal, if this keep on, I handle it from here. So I've already put it in their hands because it ain't gonna be but one bullet, and I'm willing to lay down for it for the rest of my life. Period.
TeAma, you agree with that?
I agree with the man right there. He's dead on
Yes.
target. And let me help y'all. My friend she's a teacher, so she can't say what she want to say. But trust me, you touch AJ, you better believe she finna give up them degrees. So I need y'all to know that too.
Miss Juicy, what you think?
Kamal says, because if Maul get one of them sucks parents trying to get me involved, they gonna get a surprise. Kamal said, and I ain't going to jail.
I'm okay with the outcome either way.
Kamal said kids fight. Yes, they do.
Listen, come on. I'm with kids fighting. I am with kids doing one-on-one. But I'm sorry, this new generation here, not only will they jump your kid, they will videotape. And you will see like violence that you have never even put on somebody in your adult years.
Yeah.
And then you'll see an adult standing
I'm
behind
not
egging
woman
it
enough
on.
to watch somebody like when that mom was holding down that girl's daughter and both of her daughters was tagging them. You got me all the way fucked up. Do you hear me? I'm kicking in a bitch teeth. Fuck a bitch though.
I'm definitely with.
I'm good.
I don't want no. Go ahead, Miss Juicy. You haven't said anything. Let me hear what you got to say on that.
Juicy Cakes.
That signal must be acting up.
Oh, but for me, I understand that kids fighting. Grown folks don't get it. We're gonna basically try to make sure that they know not to be fighting each other. But there's a difference from a fight and you messing with my child every day.
Right.
Because
that's bullying.
If y'all got into a fight, y'all got that off y'all chest, that should be over with. And if it ain't, and you coming at my child every day, and my child got to come home to me as a parent, that this is what he or she is going through, then it is my job to protect what belongs to me. Because my child can't feel like her daddy or his daddy can't protect them. I'm here to protect them at all costs. Because if the police don't do it after I reported it, guess what? I'm guaranteed a 12 jury, and the way that this bullying going on now, I'm gonna walk free. Because you ain't gonna put your goddamn hands on my child every day, making him feel like, or he feel like he can't live his life prosperously because you.
Kamal said, that's why I'm glad I play football and I'm glad I coach football. Linemen are taught to handle more than one. Two at a time is easy. It just amazes me that
everybody ain't 6'5", 366 pounds like yourself.
It just amazes me that I'm in the student community. I see we have like ways to report bullying and stuff like that, anonymous ways, but kids be too embarrassed to report the bullying. They be embarrassed. They don't want to be labeled a snitch, and that's really what happens.
Yeah.
And don't really get dealt with until it escalates to physical violence, and that's when it gets dealt with. But it should be dealt with before.
That's true.
And a lot of the violence don't happen at school. Most kids walk home from school. So the child that's getting picked on, ain't no teacher, ain't no police officer, and ain't no parent walking home with that child after school when they gotta go down the road, and then it's just you and that bully and his friends, and then they agitating you, trying to get you to fight. Yes, I understand.
What I've seen normally happens is in instances like that, somebody records it, the kids record it, and it gets passed around, and eventually an adult sees it. And that's how they get punished through the school. Because they think because they fighting outside of school, they can't get in trouble, but they can still get in trouble because it started at the school.
Legacy, you have pets. Mm-hmm. 2 dogs, correct? Mm-hmm. When you take them out to do number 2, use the bathroom, do you pick up after them
Yes, because I don't want to step in and I don't want nobody else to step in it.
Savage.
Kamal said, I'm really having fun and poking the bear. Bullying is terrible. Hope no one has to deal with that because it ain't easy. It ain't be easy answer. I don't know.
It won't be an easy answer.
Oh, he meant to say it won't be an easy answer.
The reason why I asked you, do you pick up after them?
I do.
No, I'm saying the reason why I asked that question because the next clip, this person also picks up after their dog as well. Did y'all see that?
She put the poop in somebody else's trash can?
No, the fact that she used the mask to pick up the poop and then put the mask back on her face.
Let me show you again.
That poop would have been in that yard. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Damn. She nasty.
JP said, I teach my child to pick up a weapon.
JP, don't you tell nobody that, JP. You're going to get yourself a sentence. I have a friend before we move on that live in Rivera. His daughter got jumped one time. And he took his...
Kamal said she is an avid scratch and sniff enthusiast. Come on, you crazy as hell.
He real crazy. But he took his daughter back to go fight. The girl fought one of the girls. By that time, the police pulled up. The police ended up taking him to jail because he brought his daughter back around there to fight the girl again. And they said that he was agitating the fight, and they took him to jail, and the kids would stay home, but he had to go to court, and he ended up catching a year of probation behind that. For pretty much like inciting a riot.
Right. Wow.
Did y'all see Raising Canaan? Anybody seen Raising Canaan? What Teama had mentioned earlier?
No.
It's a scene where 50 Cent gets beat up. And he came home and his mama said, what happened to you? Oh, such and such beat me at the park. She said, come on. And she grabbed the sock and she filled the sock up with items and walked him down there and said, you better beat their ass or I beat your ass. And he wore their ass out and ain't bothering him no more. But there's a lot of parents that's like that. If you don't whoop their ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah.
My father was like that.
Well, I never tell my mom about the ass whooping Ebony put on me in the 3rd grade. I couldn't live with I didn't want her to know about that. Because I didn't want Ebony to whoop my mama ass either.
No matter where you in, you got to get something and knock them upside the head to make sure they don't want to come back and fight you again. He told us to hurt the people we fought.
Miss Juicy, you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful, Miss Juicy, with telling your kids to pick up weapons, because then that's when it become aggravated assault and all that.
It escalated instantly.
Today, I don't tell my children, like, as my father, that's how my dad he was with us. He was like, we couldn't come in until we won. We could have lost 12 times. We better win one.
You better win one.
Here's a young lady. I'm sorry, Miss Juicy, go ahead.
I tell my kids to better solutions, better resolutions. Try hard to avoid the confrontation and the fight.
Tina Mo said, can't stop laughing.
And my children actually have any business like that because they do avoid it. by that way.
Here's a quick laugh to break it up. Miss Tina Mo, laugh at this. Here's a young lady. Check. Well, look at the expression on this young lady's face.
Oh, no.
Your legacy on mute.
I say, what happened? I see he got a remote control. Or that's his phone.
He got his remote control, but she thought she was going to get some ding-a-ling. I'm going to show it again. Check it out.
Oh, no.
Oh, she big mad. She lifted her body up. She finna throw that thing at him. He was like, that ain't what this is. JP said, I tell them to beat that ass really good and I will handle everything after.
That's what it is right there, JP. That's it there. But why she mad? Because men do that all the time, and women be I ain't feeling it right now.
She thought she was going to get
something. Why women do that? Oh,
She was throwing it back. He didn't even want
I saw her.
He want to watch the game.
She was ready.
Oh, she big mad.
Oh, no.
Listen, because a black woman would have been like, you got me all the way messed up. I know you lied. I was knocking that phone out of his hand. Come on, said she had that hungry beaver meat.
Not beaver meat. Oh. Miss Juicy, you ever done that before? You had that happen to you?
Say it again. You break it.
I said, have you ever had that happen to you?
I'm gonna have to go out.
TeAma.
No. I'm a Leo. I take it. I believe in raping.
Oh God!
That won't work for me.
Hey Tony, hurry up and put that sign up there real quick for TeAma, because she said something. Well, I want the folks hearing that.
That's her. That's her.
Listen,
she met her husband, Miracle.
You cannot rape the willing.
He wasn't willing just then.
He was. He just didn't know it.
Damn.
Gave him the right motivation.
She said he just didn't know it.
She lifted the vagina box up onto his creation. And the remote control was more interesting than her vagina box.
Yes, he wanted to watch the game. But check this one out. It's called, I ain't gonna tell you. See if y'all notice it. Hold on, check this out.
Python was about to get him.
About to swallow the baby whole.
Hell no.
About to swallow the baby whole.
That's in another country that don't really have no protective things to keep those type of animals from coming into the house, because they both up there asleep, and thank the God that God woke her up to move around, because the snake was finna devour both of them. At least try to.
Yeah, she was laying down with her first.
If you got shit walking around that bitch, it's time to leave altogether.
I'm trying to tell you, dog.
It's time to get
You
a
better
passport.
believe
And leave the country. Get a passport and leave the country.
I'm talking about the
I'm
snake just went out the
I'm
door.
finna refugee it.
The snake just went on out like, well, they left, I'll leave too.
Okay, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
Let me go eat the neighbor.
They ain't got
Okay,
no
damn. Hey, look, this bitch done fucked up a whole meal.
Oh,
that was a big ass snake, man.
Yes. Wow. But check this out.
How important is sleep? Oh, well, sleep, we need to stop really looking at the concept as sleep because we get a misunderstanding of what the whole process is. So it's really all about fasting. So yes, fasting is important because every time we go to sleep, every time we close our eyes, every time we shut the digestive system down, the body automatically goes into repair. So the more waste, the more toxins that are in the body, then the body needs more time to sleep. The less waste in the body, the less toxins you have to process, less time you need to sleep. So, if you want to live a longer life or at least have more time to live, then keep your body clean and, you won't have to go 8 hours into the body shop at night and fast to get the repair work done. Because that is the reparation period. Sleeping is the reparation point. This is when the body breaks down the cells that it cannot utilize and build new cells. So when we wake up in the morning and we go into that break fast period, that's another 8-hour phase if we're living, a natural, in the moment life. So fasting, 8 hours, that's your sleeping mode. Breaking the fast, 8 hours, that's the elimination mode. And after that, we have another 8 hours to go for the day. So that's the intake mode. That's when we're putting in the fresh, raw building material to give the body something to work with when it goes back into that sleep mode at night. So, sleeping is fasting, it's healing, it's repairing, and it's rebuilding the body. And we can build a brand new body if we follow this system in its natural form and allow the body to just take over, eliminate, build new cells, and hey, there goes disease and all your other blues.
Thank you for watching I Never Knew TV. Please subscribe.
That's all you need is some good rest. Lay your ass down sometime.
Okay.
Yep.
Sleep is very important. I got 30 minutes left.
And right now, white people are really frightened. If you don't understand the destruction of Planned Parenthood offices, and you don't understand the wall that we're going to build on the southern border of the United States, you haven't read the book The Birth Dearth by Ben Wattenberg. Ben Wattenberg was a brilliant Jewish man who was a member of the American Enterprise Institute, and he wrote a book, the first paragraph of which says, "The main problem confronting the United States today is there aren't enough white babies being born in this country." He was an advisor to presidents of the United States. He wrote the book in 1987. He says if we don't change this and change it rapidly, white people will lose their numerical majority in this country, and this will no longer be a white man's land. Now, I'm not misrepresenting this. I'm telling you almost exactly what he says. He says there are 3 things we can do to solve this. Number 1, we could pay women to have babies, as they have been doing in Western European nations for years. Then he says, and these are his words, not mine, unfortunately, we would have to pay women of all colors to have babies, so we don't want to do that. He says the second thing we could do is increase the number of legal immigrants that are allowed into this country every year. Then once again he says, unfortunately, the vast majority of those wanting to come to this country today are people of color, so we don't want to do that. The third thing he says, and women had better pay attention to this, 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, that would solve our birth dearth. Does that sound like racism to you?
Can you talk a little bit about the trauma associated with?
The trauma associated with it? Yeah. One of the main traumas is it tells white people that they are superior because of the lack of melanin in their skin. And then they find out suddenly that we've got a black president. That's traumatic. That's where the trauma is. Living a lie, finding out the truth is traumatic. Finding out now, recently, that within 30 years, white people will be in the numerical minority in this country is going to be traumatic. White people are scared to death right now, particularly white males. They're scared to death that they are going to lose their power in the future. And they are. But if you want to get ready for the future, if you want to be treated well in the future, treat others well in the present. What we do in the present constructs the future. We called the Japanese, and you'll pardon me, but this is what we called them, slant-eyed little yellow We didn't say that about the Germans. After the war, we rebuilt Germany and Japan, and we get along beautifully with the Japanese. That was in 1945 that we finally won that war. How many years ago was that? Figure that out quickly.
I'm not a math person, but
you're not a math person, but you know it wasn't that far. Right. And it didn't take 50 years for us to have peace with the Japanese and the Germans, even though we dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan. The Japanese hadn't killed 10 million people. Nowhere near that. We didn't drop any bombs on Germany, any atomic bombs on Germany. They were a different kind of people. We couldn't afford to do that. We killed how many Japanese people with 2 atomic bombs? And they forgave us. You want to talk about forgiveness? You want to talk about changing this thing? I cannot understand how Japanese people can stand the sight of any of us, and yet they do. I cannot understand why black people who have been subjected to the ugliness that they've been subjected to in this country can get up every morning and go to work among us and not be absolutely furious. And I don't understand why we allow white people to behave the way they do. I don't understand that. And my 3rd graders, after they'd gone through the exercise, couldn't understand it and wouldn't tolerate it. And when they went up to junior high and a junior high teacher used the N-word, one of my former students said, if you're going to use that word, I'm going to go out in the hall until you stop using it, because we don't use that word in this school. That was a 7th grader who told his teacher off. When we have enough students who are willing to confront people who are making racist, sexist, ageist, homophobic statements, we're going to be better off. We have got to stop tolerating the intolerable. If it's intolerable for my black cousins, and every black person on this earth is one of my cousins, if it's intolerable for them, it's intolerable for me. I will not tolerate it. I will not tolerate it. I am required not to tolerate that kind of treatment for the people who are related to me. And that's every person on the face of the earth. If your ignorance is such that you will mistreat somebody because of your ignorance about the color of their skin, don't do it around me. Number 1, I've been threatened with death lots of times. Now I say, go for it, fool. My husband died 4 years ago. Being with him would not be a bad thing for me. Death is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Living a worthless, useless life is much worse than dying.
That lady right there, for the longest, I've been following her, at least for the last 8 years. She has definitely inspired a lot of people, but she is probably on the FBI watch list, CIA. She is definitely one of the most outspoken people that I've seen on that come out and speak about this type of stuff. And like she said, she gets death threats all the time because nobody wants her speaking like that, because it go against all of what white society has been taught. And she, Savage.
Tina said, thanks, Anthony, for asking me a question, then bleaking out my voice opinion.
But yeah, I've always loved that lady right there. And I think a lot of people need to. I want to get that book. So Tony, when the show over, if you don't mind, send me that link again so I can get the name of that book she was talking about. But I've been know about Parenthood, because if you notice, a lot of those programs that she's just talking about is in the black communities, to where, you know, they go in and are advocating to a degree that if black women want to abort their kids, that they can get them done for cheap prices through their organization. They also tell you that, you know, they'll help you if you do want to keep your child or whatever, but they'll definitely help more or less with abortions. And as you see, she told you that, this program is here because the birth rate, white people don't produce kids as fast as vastly when it comes to Hispanics and blacks. So when they're losing the large percentage of people on the planet in the United States anyway. So
Kamal said good white folks be good with that talk, but they losing their money and losing their white privileges will quickly kick those thoughts to the side.
But like I say, she's been fighting a long time for justice. She runs a simulation where she take little white kids and black kids like 5 and 4 years old and put little black dolls in front of little black girls and and see what they think about it. And she showed where little black girls a lot of times hate themselves because they think that to have a little black baby doll, the black baby doll is evil and ugly, but to have a Barbie in front of them, she's good, she's pretty. And those baby dolls and the way that they use those things, because for a long time there wasn't any black baby dolls to emulate or to for us to look upon and say, oh, she's pretty. And that's my reason for me never buying my daughter a white baby doll, because I needed her to understand that she's just as beautiful as the pale face. So I wasn't gonna allow that to happen to mine. I really wasn't even keen on my baby holding baby dolls, because I think putting baby dolls in the arms of your child is automatically making them grow up fast and participate in having babies. I think that I didn't let her call her baby doll, oh, this my baby. No, that could be your sister, but you ain't got no baby. That's just me. I think we have to re-educate on how we go about doing things with our children. We have to let them know they need to see things like that program that young lady has. We have to also understand that these are toys, but true enough, the symbolic method behind those things are, you're preparing your young child to walk around talking about this her baby. You ain't had no baby. You ain't had no sex. Better not be had no damn sex.
Not at 9 years old. Anyway.
I have a daughter, and my she's 21. She's my firstborn, and I only want boys. So I was like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do with a girl? But when I didn't grow up playing with baby dolls. I grew up as a tomboy, so I really didn't. I felt the same way you feel, Legacy. When it comes to they don't need to play with it because it'll teach them too much. However, my daughter was a girly girl, and she liked doll babies. And giving her a doll I gave her small dolls when she was little, and then they got bigger as she got older. But she's 21. My next son is like 19. So there's a little 20 months in between them. And at the time that she was coming, I gave her a life-size doll so that she could have her baby and I had my baby. Because when kids are growing up and they're like siblings and they're the first one, they like to pinch their children, their little babies. They feel that jealous envy, you taking my place, so they can kind of be mean. So I got her the doll to help her simulate how to love a baby, whether it be her baby or somebody's baby, but just to be gentle with a baby because a baby was coming into our house. She to this day ain't too grown, ain't fast, ain't walking around having children at a young age. She's got her mind straight. So some it's like the way you present it to the child is helpful. Now on that video, when that man was talking about the pregnancies and stuff, we as a black race, every black person need to have about 2 children at the least in order for us to stay in existence. And that's something that for the longest in many years, I've gone around and been encouraging people. We need to repopulate this earth with black people. We need to have everybody. I feel like whether you heterosexual, bisexual, do your part. Your part is to put some more lives here, because without each of us having two people to carry on, we will become extinct. We are the one that we are really, really extinct because we got a lot of mix going on. So that one drop is keeping us in existence, but it's getting shadowed and dwindled out the system too. We really need to populate ourselves at least two.
Well, with people like Legacy's granddaddy, Legacy daddy, and Legacy, we're gonna be all right.
Right, and that's what I say. People with 4, 5, 6 kids just act like one of them kids mine, because I ain't have no more babies.
We're gonna be all right.
None. My girl on her way out the door. No more babies. Y'all gonna have to figure that out some other type of way.
But
shop is closed.
Miss Juice, I think you're right, but definitely, you know, if you look at TV, do you notice that they push the narrative of it's okay for a black woman to be with any other race in a commercial? If you look for the narrative, it's all right for a black man to be in any other race except for whites. I don't see commercials where white women are in any other relationship. If you do see one, she's in a relationship on a commercial with a Spanish dude or East Indies person. But you do not rarely ever see a commercial, whether they showing it in a family state or says that white woman needs to be in the presence of a black man, because they understand that the black melanin and the things that are in black men and women, we take over the genetics and we show when we're with another race. And if we don't pay attention to that, they're steadily pushing on that it's okay for our race to be with any other race except for whites when it pertains to commercials. And I think they've moved so far away from black unity that you rarely ever see a commercial pretty much with, if you look, especially like a car commercial, you'll see a black man driving, but on the right side of him, that woman gonna be Spanish or she gonna be Latino or something different, but it won't be white, and it's hardly ever black. And when they do show that a black family, they're definitely the most lightest people that you can see, and the kids don't look nothing like our children. They look mixed descent.
With curly hair.
Yes.
You know, I don't watch TV, so I don't get to see the commercials. But the one reason I don't is because it tells a vision. And that's one thing that we got to also be mindful of when we're watching the TV. It's telling us a vision that they want us to see.
Right.
Everything you just said says you are inferior to any other race. You as a black person are inferior, and you need somebody else to help you be what you are here to be, which is not true. We are the most powerful beings on this earth, and they need us. That's why they're trying to get us to mesh within them, because they need what we got in our bloodline to help them survive. Without us, they are nothing. And so we need to then show, when the commercial come on, I hope you telling your child, don't look at that shit.
Oh,
Kamal said positive, strong black families are extremely strong and extremely threatening.
Go ahead, Ms. Juice.
And I want to say I'm not against mixed relationships. I have a white in my family, Philippine, Haitian, Jamaican. We the big melting pot. I love them all. But when it all comes down to it, we need more black on black love and children being born.
Well, in our race, I'm sorry to say this, but and definitely in our race, we're basically taught to hate one another, and that the only good man is anything outside of the black race. And this steadily being pushed, whether it's definitely through music, because like I say, black people who do the music thing, women are bitches and hoes more or less. And when women get on there, they tell you that men are pretty much cash cows. So we're never gonna be, I'm not gonna say never, but it's hard to look at one another in the sense of we need one another when the narrative is being pushed that you need everybody else except for that person or except for that race. So we have to do something more positive when it comes to, or more diverse when it comes to us showing a positive sense of Black unity. Because if you go back into the 80s and the early 90s, you can look at shows from Bill Cosby, Different World, Family Matters, and different everybody hates Chris. Those were Black family unity. What was the Robert Townsend had a Black family show, Moesha, things of that nature like that. Even the Parkers showed the mom raising the daughter, but the dad was definitely still in the daughter's life and loved the daughter also. So you notice those shows are not out there anymore. They're done. They're canceled because they no longer want to push the Black family unity. Because if they've been divided, if you've been teaching division all this time throughout history, then they definitely feel like they went astray by allowing those shows to come about. Because that's exactly what we were doing. You had more kids in the early 90s that were going to college, doing some more things with their life, and took college a lot more seriously, all because they grew up watching A Different World, knowing that, hey, I want to do something with my life. I could go to college. I could be somebody special. But if you look, when you went into the 2000s after Moesha and the Parkers, ain't no more of that. Guess what they started doing? The Damon Wayans show. Well, and if you look around, the daughter was definitely on, all she was worried about was fashion. The little boy that was on the show was as dumb as a brick, and the only people that had sense was Damon Wayans and Teacher County. What are we doing? Why do we as Black folks even participate in those nonsense shows that does not uplift? All it does is allow us to look at each other like they went and painted their face black paint and did all that crazy shit. We have to stop participating. But when it comes down to $1, it is easily shown that we'll sell out our whole generation and our race of people for $1. I was reading yesterday where somebody asked Will Smith why he never played a slave movie or why he never made a slave movie. Will Smith said, I just did not want to emulate that hardship of what we went through. I wanted to show that we can be way more powerful than just slaves, as they try to always push the narrative of. And that made a lot of sense to me.
Wow.
We're past that. Let's think of something greater now.
I like that. That's powerful.
Yep, we should.
TeAma,
But there's so many of them that don't feel that same way and don't have that value system and will make that movie and even kiss that man just to make that $1.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker did. He played a gay role. Wesley Snipes did it. And when you look at, these are examples of men who are supposed to be what we could consider a role model. But then when I was in college and we tried to figure out, well, who is a real role model? Are entertainers, because they're entertainers and they're actors, they're fake living and putting on a script. How are they a role model when everything about their character is not real? It's somebody else's idea, figment of an imagination. They can't model any type of role other than what that white man is telling the Black man to be. And if we let the TV be the role models of our children, then that's what you got coming out from your children. I used to take my kids to the courthouse, and we sit in the courtroom, and we watch the trials when there's a Black lawyer doing what he needs to do. We'll go and watch and observe them in action in real life, not TV. And it's open. Anybody can go in, and well, I don't know about today. But those are things we should be taking our kids and subjecting them to see and view and looking to them to see the roles in that as a role model, not the TV.
Yeah, because my students, they had to do a project a couple of weeks ago on their careers, and it's like all they focused on were like being rappers, football players, actors, and I had to ban those careers. I was like, listen, there are more jobs, and that stuff is not guaranteed. You have to have a backup plan because they expect you to play football, they expect you to rap, but you next to 100,000 people, the odds of you getting it are slim to none. So you got to have a plan in place and want more for yourself. And they was mad. They had attitude, but I didn't care. The moment to get that zero, I put that zero in and failure. Call your mama until I failed you.
Better believe it. Good job, Savage. Good job, Miss Juice, with doing that also.
But check this out. You know, this has been in the news here lately about our Kelly Price. This is the last video the last clip I have to show. We could talk about more, but this is the last clip that I have, and I just wanted to show this, and then we could talk about it.
Yes, ma'am. Where's your head at? Where's your heart at right now? And how is your family doing?
Frantic. We're frantic. We have not heard from my sister in well over a month. The last time my niece and nephew saw her was when she was in ICU. And that was, the 13th of August.
Take your time. Take your time.
You know, this is just a lot. It's just my sister and I. We lost our mom last October. We lost our youngest sister 6 years before that. We lost our grandparents between last year and this year. We're a small family. And I am considered the matriarch of the family right now. My nephew and niece, they're young. My sister's children are young. And I know that they're confused, and I know that they're upset, and I know that they're scared, and I'm feeling the same way. That's my younger sister. My sister's, I don't know. Just please, Kelly, if you okay, I mean, please just show up, go to the cops, do something, but we have to see you physically. If somebody knows something, please help us find my sister. That's it. It's just she and I. That's it.
I thought they had found her. She was fine.
Well, the latest I heard was that this sister and Kelly are the only, as far as the family bloodline, them the two, not counting the children, the young kids. We're counting Kelly's age group range. Them the only two that's left, because all the other family that's their age and above is dead. They've lost all the other family members within the last 2 to 3 years. So, but also, what I recently heard from 2 other channels I was watching, 2 other YouTube channels, is I don't know why the sisters acting like they have such a beautiful relationship when they really don't. They're not close at all. That sister and Kelly, they haven't really seen each other since the funeral, which was almost a year ago. So, part of this interview was a front. The sister had some type of a hidden agenda, but from my understanding is what happened was Kelly did contract COVID, and because she was under the weather, her new husband, which we didn't even know she got remarried, but her new husband was basically trying to keep her away from the media, keep her out of the limelight, keep her away from the
as he should, right?
Keep her away from the fans, just let her recuperate and quarantine and rest and get herself together. Well, from my understanding, I guess her address is known. So between the fans knocking at the door, constantly coming by, standing out with picket signs, we love you, Kelly, blah, 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 get well with the vigils, the candle lights, and all this kind of stuff, it became stressful. So she relocated to an undisclosed place so that she could recuperate and quarantine in peace and quiet. She supposedly canceled all of her social media. She's not watching social media. She's not watching the news. So she is totally oblivious to the fact that her family is even looking for her, because she's not watching the news. She's not watching the social media. I'm assuming she don't have her cell phone on, or her husband has her phone and he's not letting her know, or whatever. But someone and no one is communicating to the outside world to let them know that she's alive. yes, she's going through COVID. Yes, she's quarantining. Yes, she's recuperating, but no one knows. So, anybody want to add any more to this situation?
To me, it just seems like it's all just planned. I could be wrong, but I mean, for people to be outside your home picketing and Kelly get well, blah, 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 somebody had to first let it be known that Kelly had COVID. Then on top of that, the husband is home taking care of her, somebody's taking care of her. It should have been so easy for him to come out and address, she's going through COVID, we just want our privacy. You know, thank y'all for all the well wishes and things of that nature. But right now she's resting, and as soon as she gets better, she will address everyone. But to leave and be able to get away to an unsecluded area and turn off all this social media and stuff, that's your right. You can do that. But again, she didn't have to address it. The husband could have addressed the matter, especially when police are being called out to the house to, you know, because people are doing wellness checks because they haven't heard from them at least a week or two, and you get away. So to me, it's like a way for her to be able to come back into the limelight after she goes through whatever she goes through, to give a story about what she went through, and to maybe possibly be able to get a singing career because people want to see her doing well now. That's just the way that I receive that, because it's just so easy for her husband just to address it. Nobody still has to be able to see Kelly, but you make the situation even more worse by not addressing it. It's a lot of people going missing and dying these days. So when people don't hear from people who they know they normally hear from, whether it's her sister or the nephews or nieces or whatever, if I'm not hearing from you, the concern is in me says, has my auntie passed away? Cause ain't nobody saying shit to me. I know she got COVID, but ain't nobody telling me how she's doing. For you to just pick up the phone, uncle, and just say, yeah, she's resting. And for her to say, yeah, I'm doing okay, y'all. I'll get with y'all a little bit later when I get better. All of that would have been that would have been over and done with. But to not do it, it seems like it's just more staged for her to be able to come back and make a grand entrance.
Yeah, that could be true, but I'm looking at it now and they're saying that she broke her silence a day ago.
She broke her silence and said what? Did they say what she said?
She just said she almost died from COVID.
See, now here comes the story.
You know, I thought it
Legacy, can't you give her you could probably give her the benefit of the doubt. What if she told her immediate circle, listen, I don't want this guy, blah, blah, blah. And just somebody went to go sell for $200 the tabloid and turn on her. So she's like, you know what, let me get all these. Hey, I get on the grid, so, and I'm broke. So if I get off the grid, I don't tell nobody. I mean, you will tell you that girl will get gone. You'll think I'm
she actually she posted a video, but let me just run this article right quick. She said at some point they lost me. She said, it says in an emotional interview with TMZ, the 48-year-old artist said she wasn't missing but recovering from the virus. At some point they lost me, she said. I woke up a couple days later, and the first thing I remember is a team of doctors standing around me, asking me if I knew what year it was. When asked to clarify, Price said, I died. It was unclear if she was vaccinated. And she got I guess a little video up about her and the COVID. She said, I am COVID positive. I'm following the doctor's orders. I'm quarantined, feeling really drained, splitting headache, but I'm not in the hospital. I'm grateful and expecting to have a quick recovery. So that's what she put.
Hey, everybody.
Just wish her a speedy recovery.
Yeah, I wish her a speedy recovery. Hope, and I wish her the best. You know, I love me some Kelly. I love her music. I love her singing.
Love Kelly too.
Oh, let me just add this right quick. She said in the interview, she explained she was suffering from long-term COVID, where people experience lingering symptoms such as brain fog, exhaustion, and racing heart.
Okay. Well, that's all I have for this evening. And
hold on, Tony.
No, I'm
we
just saying.
got one more. Well, we gotta go, I guess.
We talk about whatever. I'm just saying I don't have anything else. I'm just letting you know I don't have anything else.
Listen, this has been on my heart because I'm sick of this shit. What I'm tired of is the unatoned unalertness of when black women and black girls and black kids go missing. I really never ever see the FBI and all surrounding counties in the area where black folks go missing out looking for people. Never hardly ever see that unless it's a famous black person. I am sorry that the young white lady got killed if her boyfriend killed her or whatever. I'm sorry about that. I wish that wouldn't have happened. But what we do notice is she wasn't famous. And she was the average little white girl. And her boyfriend and her went out on a trip. And he came back home without her. It was an all points bulletin to find this little white girl, dead or alive. They was out there overturning stones and boulders and turning over mountains, trying to find this little white chick. But
what makes you say she was average?
What you mean? I'm telling you, the way that her people, the way that her people lived is not a rich lifestyle. She was a nice, average little white girl.
Okay.
Her family wasn't famous.
She wasn't a celebrity. She wasn't famous.
Right.
Okay.
So
I don't really know the story. I would say that.
Turn on the TV.
She don't watch TV.
I ain't watching the TV.
She on every channel, boo.
Every channel.
And every channel, they all up in the swamp and all this foolishness.
So
Really?
when the boyfriend come home, he come home without her. Whatever story he gave, they went looking for her. Not only did the parents go looking for her, the local police went looking for her, the county police went looking for her, the FBI, and Joe Biden's what is it? The CIA went looking for the girl. They had stuff out there lifting mountains up, all type of shit for this little white girl. But when my black sisters, nieces, and nephews go missing, listen, they barely put out a damn Amber Alert when we go missing.
No, you gotta wait 24 hours before they even say.
Listen, when that man came home, the Amber Alert went out and the FBI was on the trail. I don't want to hear that shit about you gotta wait 24 hours. 24 hours gives somebody that much time to get away with my goddamn child.
And I'm saying that's what they.
It is very disproportionate, Legacy. I do agree with you. It's very disproportionate, and the black they don't go looking for our black children, our black girls, and they don't look for them with an urgency. It's not a sense of urgency. It's like, oh, when we find them, we find them. Okay, it's all good. It's whatever. It's fine. We'll find them, and they could be chopped up into 50 million pieces by these. But y'all just weren't. Oh, well, we'll find them when we find them.
You know what I hear when young black girls go missing? Oh, she probably was fast. She probably in some dude house. She'll call y'all. She got a boyfriend. She probably somewhere ducked off with him somewhere. The damn boyfriend sitting right here. Where's my dog? And what white people don't realize is, and a lot of people, oh, Legacy, you're a conspiracy. Listen, I tell you all the time, they kill our kids for their body parts. And this is why it be so hard to find your children. They just disappear. We have about 15,000 kids across the United States or more every year disappear, and nobody knows where they are.
Yum, 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 McDonald's.
Say what?
I said yum, 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 McDonald's. There was a couple articles were circulating over the years saying that they put human body parts in the ground meat. And just recently, a finger didn't get ground up all the way and was located inside of their meat. Mm-hmm.
See,
McDonald's burgers.
So I mean,
our skin, our leather shoes.
Yep. It's just crazy that I'm sorry I am sorry that the little young lady lost her life. I think she was 21. But now they looking for the boyfriend, but they can't find him either. But one of the first things they love to say when that type of shit happened is, oh, he was dealing with some mental issue. They even questioned the police officer that went to a police call between both of them, the young lady and her boyfriend, where the police officer in his statement states that the young man he did not assault the young lady. The young lady assaulted him, and he refused to press charges. But now they're looking for the dude, and they haven't found him. But
did he come up missing with her?
She went missing. He came back to wherever they lived at. And Miss Juice, I need you to turn on the TV.
Florida.
I need you to turn on the TV, Miss Juice.
I don't even have a TV in my house right now.
But listen, Legacy, you missing the whole part about this. If if the fiance, if he was a black male and he would have came back and that white girl was missing, he would have never left the precinct.
He wouldn't have
never left the precinct.
He would have never left the precinct if he was black.
They would have found a reason to hold him.
Yeah.
It was like at this moment he's not a suspect and blah blah blah, and now he got in the win.
We can do it. We can do it.
So,
but
it's a shame.
Like I say, you know, that was for me because they don't look for us the same way that they do. You know that these people are still talking about they looking for the person that killed John Benet Ramsey.
You know, I thought about her just this evening.
They talking about they still looking for this. Have you found out who the hell killed Emmett Till? Have you found out who assassinated Malcolm X? You're not looking for that.
They don't care.
Why would they look for something that they had involvement in with Malcolm X?
Right. But check this out. Even the white woman to this day who is alive right now, you can look her up. The white woman who started the thing for Emmett Till to be killed turned around when she got old and admitted that Emmett Till never did anything that she accused him of, whistling at her, trying to holler at her. How in the hell she's in her 80s right now, and you telling me you went and locked up Bill Cosby in his 80s for false allegations, and you trying to tell me this woman openly admitted that she's the cause of Emmett Till being dead, and you can't bring up no charges to lock her old ass up? Get the hell out of here.
Right. She really do need to be sitting in prison because it was a false accusation. Talking about he whistled at her and he talked to her and everything caused that young boy's death. His life was cut off suddenly. She should at 80, whatever age her old behind is, she should be sitting in prison right now. At this current moment. She should be sitting in prison for causing that mess. I'm sorry, I agree with Legacy 100%. She should be sitting in prison for getting Emmett Till killed.
But you're still in the white man's world. Well, sweetie, good luck on that, okay?
Well, we know that ain't gonna happen.
Right, we know that's not gonna happen.
You gotta have these people to look at you as human beings. They don't even look at you as a human
Which they
being.
don't.
You're black.
Which they don't.
That was a valid point right there, TeAma. Valid. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get ready to get off. I want to just start with Don Allen tonight because he came on shortly. So Don Allen, let the people know how they can get in contact with you, sir.
They can find me on Facebook at Don Allen Low. They can find me on YouTube at the D-Lo. Jesus Lord, D-Lo Productions, D.Lo Productions. They can find me on Twitter at Apostle D-Lo. They can find me on Instagram at Apostle D-Lo. That's where I am. And and my website, DLoRazzleDazzles.com.
We appreciate you right there. Miss Juicy K, go ahead and let them folks know how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, there we go, right there. See it in the green. Juicy.
Some people can't read. Some people
I have
can't
to read
read.
it to them. You interrupt me. See, that's why that other lady ain't even on this thing no more, because you interrupt me. Juicy.
My bad, but I didn't. She had to go because she had to go. Don't throw that on me.
I'm just being funny. Facebook.
I know.
Nicole gracefully perseveres. The number is 785-422-6949. And Instagram is Miss Beautiful.
That's it?
That's it.
Let's go with it, Miss Beautiful Savage.
You can find me on Facebook, under Drayton Bird, IG T Savage 100, and the A.T.L Tuesday and Friday.
The beautiful TeAma, go on and get them folks what they need to know.
Secretary.
Ass. Tell them, TeAma.
It's right there.
Some people can't read and see.
Let me tell you, I
some
made
people
good
can't read
money.
and see.
That's fine. If they can't see, they can feel it. They can feel it. They got the feeling.
Girl, that ain't no doggone braille up there where they can feel it.
Oh,
hey, reach out and touch your screen and feel them letters.
All right. Mr. Anthony Brown,
feel the jewelry.
Tell the folks how they can find you, Mr. Anthony Brown.
I'm the Anthony Brown Show. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as YouTube under the Anthony Brown Show. And just always remember, I'm a YouTuber, influencer, and mentor. And my favorite words to live by is grind until you shine.
All right. And for me, I am Legacy the Great, and you can contact me through Facebook at
shortstuff.com.
That's not it, y'all. That's not it. It's right there, as TeAma and Miss Juicy say. But you can find me on Facebook at Dream Williams. You can also find me on YouTube, Antonio Williams. My email address is aunyawms121@gmail.com. If you need any information for the YouTube show, for the A.T.L show, give me a call at 229-630-7615. That is how you can get in contact. You can also see me and reach me through the A.T.L whole line. And you can also come on to the YouTube channel and watch us at the A.T.L show Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. We definitely have what you want to know, and what you want to see is definitely here. There's no need in watching no other podcast but this podcast. And before we leave, I just want to tell everybody pertaining to the letter that the letter that we received earlier tonight. I just want to say, before we get out of here, if you have a strange family that you don't know, even family that you do know, and y'all are definitely not speaking and talking, as many people have said in the quotes tonight and on the podcast, life is definitely too short to be wasting it on hate and arguments and things of that nature. Also, parents, if you have children out there and you're talking ill of each other to the kids or against, toward the kids, cut that out, because y'all still have children together. Y'all have to find a way to get along and coexist. If it ain't for you, make sure that you do it for your children. Continue to love one another. Find a way to love one another and continue to love and prosper. We out of here.
That sounded like Jerry's final thoughts.
Okay,
Legacy's final thoughts. Yes.
Oh, as we get out of here, A.T.L.
A.T.L. They're back.
It's my time again.
Anthony, TeAma, T Savage.
They're back. They're the best. Let's get it. Season 2.
I'm the best at this shit, that's fact. And there's only one reason that I came back. I'm here to set the fucking record straight. Okay, I'm the best, you other cats just fell the way. First off, ain't no beef with the spitters in my city. But if it comes with 28, man, this shit get gritty. I'm shitty. Yeah, I shit on rappers. Either dead on the scene, since you wanna be actors. It's the message. I'm talking open hills and places. The school little feeling foggy, I'll be patiently waiting. It seems y'all forgot who really runs the throne. Screaming y'all number one, just because I was gone. See, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on against me. Must be you ready to lose. The game, the street, the zone is took. This the message. Hope it leave you from the rapper. Sure. Yeah. The message. So y'all know. Yeah. The monster is back. And I'm at my spot. I'm at my spot.
A.T.L. ho.
Awesome.